dunya matter, should he make a dua to ask for help? And if yes, what are the proper manners in doing so?
That's good. If you have problems with your dunya matters, you're following a Shaykh, go to your Shaykh and ask. But make it clear that your dunya matters because you're following a Shaykh. That dunya matters, the aim is to please Allah and His Prophet. That is the aim. Because there are some that are asking prayers for dunya matters. Doesn't matter they're murids or not murids. We see they are the most interested, most passionate, most coming to ask to be in consultation only about dunya matters. When it comes about spiritual matters, matters of the ego, nothing. Some even coming, showing so much respect and everything. And then when they get whatever the dunya that they're asking for, they became completely silent. Some they leave completely. That is the nature of man. Yeah. We should not be. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying through the Holy Prophet he's saying, if you have, ask from Allah, ask. Even if your shoelaces are broken, ask from Him. The meaning of that is the Prophet is saying, be in need of Allah. Be in need and show your helplessness, your weakness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Prophet ﷺ is not meaning, ask him, especially about the dunya. The Prophet is meaning there also to say everything that is happening to you, make that connection. Remember Allah. Remember Allah. Because today's people, if they get sick, first thing they talk about is doctor. First thing they think about is doctor. If anything happens, they think about everything else except for Allah. When there is a storm coming, they say, oh, it's nature. Who created that nature? Allah. Don't say it is Allah. If there is a flood and it's killing people, don't say Allah is responsible. Don't say. So they're trying to remove now Allah from what? The ruling of this world. You understand? Even Muslims who want Shariat, they say it's different now. Did Prophet say Shariat is only for my time? Then after that, no more Shariat? No, Shariat is for Judgment Day and beyond. Different kind of Shariat. But who wants it? Which nation today begins with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim? So we've turned to become Nemruds, worse than Firaun. Firaun is mentioned more in the Quran than Nemrud. Because although Firaun, it is an enemy to truth, but Firaun was a very good ruler. Firaun, he was taking care of his people. The Bani Israel, they were there under punishment anyway. And he was generous. That's why Allah saying, Allah is mentioning him more than who? Than Nemrud. Because Nemrud's characteristic is very close to Dajjal too. Claiming, I give life and I take life. Correct? Did Nemrud do that? Firaun did that? Firaun just wants, what does Firaun? Firaun wants the love of his people. Firaun wants the love of the people. Firaun is saying, I'm your highest Lord. Nemrud doesn't care. Nemrud, he wanted to kill Ibrahim alayhi salam and to destroy Ibrahim alayhi salam completely, which he was one man. Musa alayhi salam, Nemrud raised him in his own house. for years. And when Musa alayhi salam, he left, Firaun didn't go after him to kill him. He came back. Firaun could have just arrested him and killed him. He didn't. And what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell to his Nabi Mursal, to Kalimullah, to Hazrat Musa? He's saying what? Speak gently to him. Allah is saying, speak gently to Firaun. Maybe his heart is going to soften. Namrud, he wanted to kill Ibrahim alayhi salam, which was one person. And Shaitan whispered into his ear and said, built this catapult. It was the first time they're using high technology, meaning also that technology is coming from that world. You understand? Today's technology is coming from that world. Because they built a fire that is so huge that it could be seen from hundreds of miles away, all to burn just one man. But it's not just to burn one man. He knows what he's doing. What is he doing? He's pulling more evil. He wants more power, to pull more evil to himself, to become more powerful. Because in that execution of Ibrahim alayhi salam, he made it into a huge celebration. Huge celebration. You know, like today, it's very common nowadays. Don't look back, or you take him out. Or I'm going to throw both of you out. He made a huge bonfire, and he's saying now everyone to do as many disgusting evil acts as possible. Human sacrifice they did. Drinking, everyone doing anything that they want, because this is our characteristics of paganism, you understand? To feel like that, they have to pull that kind of evil, so they have to do all sorts of evil. First, you have to lose your mind, you have to lose your humanness, you have to become an animal. First thing you do, you drink, and then you lose. You don't lose, Shaitan gets into you. Shaitan gets into you, you understand? You will not know, you won't have any power to over your own senses. If something else has taken over. Otherwise, how Shaitan is going to enter into a man? And looking to see what is the most disgusting evil act, and that is the time publicly he's saying, now we have to make, never before it has happened, a brother and a sister to come together and to do the act together, a man and a woman, husband and wife, publicly, openly. And he's going to give a very big reward for that. And two, the step forward. So now Namrud, he wasn't satisfied with just wanting to kill Ibrahim alayhi salam. He wanted to kill Allah. Firaun wanted to kill Allah? No. Did Firaun know Allah? He did. If Firaun didn't know Allah, Firaun would not go down to sajda on his last minute, last second before he died. But the justice of Allah reached, and Jibreel alayhi salam did not allow him to make that final sajda. He says, you did all this wrong, evil, bad things to one of Allah's beloved. You're going to make one sajda and you're going to just completely cancel everything and go to paradise? No, I'm not going to let you to. Firaun, he knows Allah. Firaun issued a challenge to Musa alayhi salam. The challenge was to make that river, the Nile River, to flow the opposite way. And saying, whoever is going to make that river to follow the opposite way, to obey their words, that one is on the right. The one who cannot, that one is on the wrong. So Musa alayhi salam said, I have my Allah. No problem. Next day, saying, gather everyone there. Musa alayhi salam, he went back, he prayed, he went to sleep, knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Haqq. Firaun, he went back to his palace, he shut himself in his secret room, and all night long he tied his legs together, so he's always sitting on his knees, and he tied his beard to a rope on the wall so that it doesn't reach down, because the whole night he was praying to Allah, saying, I know you are my Creator and my Lord, and I am a weak servant, but you have given me this authority. Do not let me to become made a fool in front of my subjects. I'm begging you. I'm not a Lord. I know that. I'm your weakest servant. He was asking Allah for forgiveness, understanding, knowing. But please, don't make me to lose my honor in front of my whole country. The next day, the time came. Musa alayhi salam came with all his followers, those who were believing in him. And Firaun came, and the whole country was there gathering to see. And Musa alayhi salam said, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, with the permission of Allah, commanding the river to flow backwards. The river didn't listen. Now Firaun stepped forward and says, in my name, flow backwards. And the river started flowing backwards. The whole country now, oh, you are the greatest Lord, start to make sajda to him. Those ones who are weak, they're following Musa alayhi salam, but they were weak because they are having different agendas, or they look at Musa and saying, you know, you're not real, you're weak also, you don't know too many things. They're judging him and having doubt and everything. They said, this one is showing open miracle. They also went to sajda. Musa alayhi salam standing there. And then Firaun says, don't you see, I am the highest Lord. Musa alayhi salam, next time he went to the mountain, Tur, saying, Ya Rabbi, it is known to you. I don't understand. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, oh, Musa, you are my creature. That one is also my creature. And I am also the most just. Did you ask me? How did you ask me? He asked me. And he spent the whole night begging me. I'm the most just. And because of that sincere action of his, I'm supporting him for that. How many of us? Well, we're in this month of Rajab, right? The dua of Wali Abbas, that one person who was committing all sorts of wrong things, and in that month of Rajab he just pulled himself back, secluding himself and begging Allah for forgiveness. Every year he does that. After the month of Rajab, he went and he still commit all those wrong actions. Month of Rajab, for the honor of that month, he pulled himself back. For the honor of that month, just to show respect for that month. And because of that action that he's doing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving an order to his most beloved one, to Sayyidul Kainat, to say, find that one and bury him and pray for him. Today's people, they are not Firauns. Today's people are Namruds. Because Namrud is saying to Ibrahim alayhi salam, saying, your Lord is in the sky, that is his kingdom. His business is in the sky. In this world, I am the king. Because Namrud was given the whole ruling of this whole world. Complete ruling. The complete ruling of this whole world was only given to 4 people. 2 good ones and 2 wrong ones, bad ones. The 5th one is going to be Hazrat Mahdi alayhi salam. He's saying, your Lord is in the sky. That's his kingdom. My kingdom is here in this world. Don't interfere into my kingdom. Just like today's people saying, don't interfere. This is my life. I don't want to have too much religion. Everything is religion. What? This is my life. I got to live a life. And what did Namrud do? He still wasn't satisfied. He says, I want his kingdom too. So he made another kind of technology with birds that brought him up to the skies because he wanted to kill Allah. Challenge Allah, you know, challenger. I mean, we're not saying anything. Not saying we. So to challenge Allah. And he took a bow and an arrow. 4 huge birds tied into a hut, bringing him higher and higher. Don't also think they're just regular birds. Don't also think that he knows knowledge that people today they have no idea of. Because person who is that evil, Shaitan is going to open also the knowledges that is from this world and other worlds to them. So he took the bow and an arrow and he shot it, thinking that he wants to kill Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ghafurur Rahim, Ya Latif. He took one fish, sacrificed himself, and the arrow hit the fish, and the arrow came back down with blood. So Namrud was very happy, saying, you see, there's blood in my arrow, I kill Allah. This is my creature. This is my little creature. Challenging Allah. And how did Allah defeat him? With one mosquito. At least with Firaun. Firaun was defeated by one asa from paradise. Huh? And that asa, that cane was not just a cane too. It was another creature from paradise that had the power. It wasn't just a snake that swallowed the other canes. It was a dragon that was threatening to swallow Firaun and his whole palace. Namrud, one mosquito with a broken leg, entered into his nose, circling around his head, eating his brains. Just like today's people, they say the brains is the most important one. Eating his brains. Every time he eats, so much pain. And he starts hitting his head. Oh, he discovers every time he hits his head, the pain goes away. So now the pain gets more and more. Now he hires someone standing behind him with a big hammer. Every time he's eating, he's moving, so much pain, he says, hit my head. And the man with the hammer hitting his head. Until one day the pain was so great, he says, hit my head, and he hit his head, and it cracked open, and the mosquito flew out. It was the size of a bird. Finished. Shaykh Efendi is saying what? Today is Namrud's. Today is Firaun's. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not even going to send a mosquito. It's less than a mosquito. And that's only a small taste. He's sending all these viruses to finish everyone. But more than that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to send one man with one takbir. With one takbir, with one recitation. And those ones who are checking their hearts and reading and understanding, they will hear that takbir. Those that they have arrogance and pride and tyranny in their hearts, they never hear. Even if Mahdi alayhi salam is next to it screaming the takbir, he's not going to hear nothing. So with one takbir, it will fall. May Allah make us to be those ones that are waiting for those days to hear that takbir and to make this whole wrong system to come down. Ameen. We are very weak ones, but with Allah we may be strong. Ameen. Inshallah Rahman. Wa min Allahu tawfiq, for the sake of our Shaykh, inshallah. Al-Fatiha. Ameen.